Good afternoon to the citizens of St. Bernard Parish. Today is Tuesday, April 14th. As always, our thoughts and prayers are with the families who suffered the loss of loved ones and family and friends with this virus, this COVID-19. The number in St. Bernard Parish at this time is 8, and we always want to start off with prayerful thoughts for their families. In Louisiana, today was the highest number of deaths for our state at 129. So I don't know if you can remember a few weeks back, we were talking about what was happening in Italy, and they were seeing 700 or 800 deaths a day, and that we didn't want to see that here in Louisiana. New York quickly got up to that number, and it leveled off in New York. It has leveled off in our region, we believe. But just remember, people are still dying in our state. 129 died in addition to what we had before that. So our thoughts and prayers are with those families. Our number today is 377. That is up right at around 10. And remember, these daily numbers is not something we want to focus on. But I want to make sure that I'll let you know that that's the update today. We still have the 8 deaths here in St. Bernard Parish, and we explained yesterday that that number went from 10 to 8 because of investigations that happen around all of these numbers that are coming out. Our hospital is still doing well. Our thoughts and our prayers are with our healthcare workers, our first responders, our sheriff's deputies, our firefighters, out there every day on the front lines trying to make sure that we stay safe, that when people do go to the hospital, that they come out on the other end of this horrible virus. Our numbers are still, total patients at the hospital is holding at 28. We have 16 COVID patients. Yesterday we had 15. And today we have 4 individuals on ventilators rather than 2 that we had yesterday. These are not 2 additional patients. These were patients that were already in the hospital, and we have plenty of ventilators to spare. So our healthcare system is continuing to be on solid footing in dealing with the COVID-19 patients. We have to continue to talk about not relaxing and becoming comfortable with where we're at in our own lives, our own families, our own friends, our own neighborhoods, and what's happening. This virus can spread quickly, and we are not out of the woods yet. Remember, this COVID-19 does not have a cure. It doesn't have a therapeutic to fix it. It doesn't have a vaccine. That's what makes this so dangerous. That's what makes this so important, that we continue to follow the social distancing guidelines. It's a new world out there. We understand that. We have to be patient as St. Bernardians. We have to be patient as a metropolitan area, as a state, as a nation, as we go through the changes of our daily life. The only way that we are going to be able to get back to some sense of normalcy before a vaccine is created. Remember, before a vaccine is created, we're going to have to continue to practice social distancing. I believe masks are going to become important really, really soon, so that our leaders can relax some of the guidelines so that we can start getting back to work. They're not going to be able to do it all at once. So in a couple of weeks here, our national leaders and our state leaders are going to provide all of the information and the data necessary to move forward without a therapeutic and without a vaccine. That's going to be so important. So if we relax here in the next 2 weeks, communities all over our nation, and we see another spike in the COVID positive tests and more deaths in communities around the United States of America, we can continue to have stricter guidelines placed upon us. We want to make sure that we don't start making dumb decisions. We can't do that. We can't start too soon because we will see a spike. So I can't go to the citizens of St. Bernard Parish with any other message than continue this fight, continue this war against this invisible enemy of which we have no cure and no vaccine. We have to do that in our community. And the reason why I'm putting some emphasis on that is because we are starting to see, again, some of our groups throughout our parish to gather in large groups. Our Sheriff's Department continue to go out and they continue to break up these groups. And what are they doing to their families? What are they doing in spreading this virus to their grandparents and their parents? I said it yesterday. I'm saying it again today. And you know why I'm saying it again today? Because last night we had to go on a few calls because we're having the same problems in the same neighborhoods, right? And we're having families that gathering with other families. You gotta know that we got to continue this fight and we've got to stay separated and apply social distancing guidelines in our citizens, or we're going to continue this longer down the road rather than sooner as far as getting to some of these relaxations of these standards. So I want to see in 2 weeks our national leaders and our state leaders to see how good we're doing throughout our country, how good we're doing here in St. Bernard Parish, so that we can release some of these guidelines. One might be that they increase the crowd sizes that you can gather in. They might require you to wear a mask. They're going to continue the 6 feet, I'm sure, right? So that's something that we can look forward to. So I am imploring the citizens of St. Bernard Parish to continue to follow the guidelines that the CDC is going to come out with and the CDC guidelines that we have now. Wash your hands daily, stay 6 feet. And now this mask may help us in the future relax some of these guidelines. But it's so important that we continue this fight and we be patient in the outcome. I want to thank, our governor. I had a conversation with him today. He's truly on the front lines with the tornadoes coming through in Monroe. He's got a lot on his plate. Our president has a lot on his plate. And I know that they're doing a great job. And with everything going on, I know that they have all of the information and the data necessary to give us great guidance and great leadership during this time. I also want to say other business goes on here in St. Bernard Parish. The spillway opened last week. We had issued an emergency ordinance to take care of a situation here in St. Bernard Parish at the Mississippi River Gulf Outlet. It's the rock dam. We need to have an opportunity or a way to get that river water out of St. Bernard Parish, and we are requesting the Corps give us a permit to reduce that rock dam to 6 feet above water level to 12 feet below water level. Keep the rock dam there for the salinity surges that it still won't go north, but it will allow that water, the river water, that comes into St. Bernard Parish and has such a negative impact to get out toward the Gulf more quickly. So we're fighting that battle right now. We have some concerns how that's going to affect our fishing industry. There's some money out there for our fishing industry. We're fighting for with the Department of Commerce and NOAA to see how our fishermen can apply for that. So I want to thank all of our council. Again, we're looking at trying to set up a council meeting, I believe tomorrow. That would be Wednesday. We have a few things that we have to take care of here in parish government. So I know our council members are out there working hard. They are receiving calls every day about groups and what's happening. The phone calls are going way down on businesses and how they're regulating their businesses and their stores. I think they are getting it because they don't want to get shut down. They want to continue to do what they do best and serve our public. So they're doing a great job. I wanted to say that. So thank you for listening again today. We will continue these updates, and hopefully we get better and better as the days goes on. Please do not gather in groups more than 10. Stay 6 feet apart. And if some of those youngsters out there that are gathering and having parties throughout our parish, please think about your parents. Think about your grandparents. This is a horrible disease that's going to affect your family if you continue to do the things that you're doing. God bless, and thank you.